What's good, everybody? How you all doing? It's your boy GNS Mall, right back into this again with yet another reaction. And ladies and gents, he is back. KSI or JJ Olatunji, depending on which person is on this track. But it does say KSI. He is back. I said this in the last remix reaction, and this is basically JJ slash KSI and Craig David and Digital Farmer Animals here literally grabbing hold of this song and rinse in every ounce of content and every ounce of anything that they can get out of this song, because they have dropped yet another version of the song, which is KSI Really Love featuring Rehab and Sean Paul. Are you kidding me? This is a big feature that KSI has got here. Rehab is pretty damn big. Sean Paul is also very big in the music industry, and he was around when I was still young. I was growing up, and I remember a load of Sean Paul while I was growing up. I'm really looking forward to hearing what this is gonna sound like. Is it gonna sound completely different? Is it gonna sound a little bit similar to the original? Is it gonna sound a little bit familiar and similar to the remix that they did with Tiny Temper and Young Bane, I believe it was. Yes, I believe so. So this is really interesting to see what this is gonna sound like. So let's get straight into this. But just before we do that, do not hesitate to click the subscribe button and press that notification bell, and then press all so you never miss an upload. And if you really liked what you see here today, do not hesitate to click the like button and comment down below, because I would like all of your insight to see where I can improve. So this is it. KSI Really Love featuring Rehab, Sean Paul, Craig David and Digital Farm Animals. Let's get straight into this in 3, 2, 1. Before we get into the drop there, first things first, Rehab doing bits with this remix. Did I say remix is doing bits with this remix? Rehab is doing bits with this remix at this moment in time. Absolutely sensational. It's a fair bit different to the original. It's a little bit different to the other remix with Tiny Temper and Young Bane. And Sean Paul did his thing. You can never knock Sean Paul. He's been in the industry for quite some time. He's had some big bangers. He's had some big stinkers. But that's most artists nowadays. But he did well here. He did well here. I wonder if maybe KSI is going to have maybe a little bit of a different verse or something. That would be quite interesting. It'd be quite nice to have JJ slash KSI maybe come on with maybe a different verse maybe. That could be really interesting. Oi, oi, oi. First things first. That was a banger. Rehab. Well done, my friend. You boshed that off. Sean Paul did his thing. KSI with yet again the same verse, and maybe you would have liked to maybe hear something a little bit different, but it works. Of course, the original is still by far my favourite, but this is definitely for the clubs. I mean, the original is for the clubs as well, but I think that's more for like pre-drinking. Whilst this version, I can see this being more of a proper club version, where you can be with your boys or be with your girls. This song comes on, you're going crazy when Sean Paul, like literally. KSI again, great flow, did very well with this track. I wonder if they've re-recorded the stuff though to make it fit. To make it fit the remixes that they have been doing. Like I said, that these guys have been rinsing the fuck out of this song. Is there any shame in it? Well, no, not really. It's a very, very, very good song. And it was in the top 10 of the charts for a purpose and for a reason. And that's because it was a very, very good song. A little bit old school vibe as well. It was a little bit of the 90s feel. Like late 90s to maybe early 2000s of hip-hop and R&B. So that's why I think a lot of people really, really liked it. And the lyrics were about being in love with someone. You didn't know that you were in love with someone. How does it feel to be in love with someone? Is it really love? Or is it just a figment of my imagination? Is it just in my mind? Or is it actually genuine love? Do I love this person? And I think that's why a lot of people kind of resonated with this song very massively, because it's a song where you can literally get lost a little bit into, and if you have got feelings for someone out there, and this is how you're feeling, it's most likely you most likely are in love with that person. But that was a very good remix. To be honest, is it better than the Tiny Temple one with Young Bane? Oh, I don't know. It's a tough one. But for me, I think this one just slightly edges it because of the Sean Paul vibe. Having that vibe that you usually have. Boom, boom, like the bouncing in it. Oh, perfect. Having both Rehab and Digital Farm Animals working on this remix, because as we all know, Digital Farm Animals is also a DJ as well as Rehab. So it's very interesting to have them both collaborate with this and then also bring this out. But to get someone like Sean Paul up on this remix it's a big step. It's a big movement. KSI is literally starting to differentiate and thoroughly leave the title of a YouTube artist, and he started truly starting to really focus on and becoming that mainstream artist. And I think he's already made it. When people say that he's starting to do it, he's doing this, I'm like, he's already done it, folks. If you're going on a talk show in England, one of the biggest talk shows, you have the Graham Norton show, which is most likely the biggest, and then of course the Jonathan Ross show. We have got a couple of others, but those two are the big boys. They're the big dons here in the UK. If you're on either one of those two, you are mainstream, no matter what the fuck what anyone else says. If you've got a song, a movie, TV series, whatever, and you have an interview on a talk show here in the UK, it's the Graham Norton show and the Jonathan Ross show, which are the two big dons of late night TV talk shows. They are. Jonathan Ross is live, whilst the Graham Norton show is recorded. People say that he's starting to get into the mainstream. He's already mainstream, especially here in the UK. Elsewhere, I think he's literally halfway there. I think he's halfway there, especially being able to grab hold of this opportunity to work with someone like Sean Paul for this remix. Who knows that this could lead to a song with him? Maybe KSI could be a feature on a Sean Paul song, or Sean Paul comes back and actually does another actual proper song with JJ for his new album. I mean, if he keeps bringing out songs like this, Really Love has probably been one of my favourite songs, along with the likes of Houdini. and lighter. If he keeps dropping songs like this, I could see him possibly, with getting these kind of features as well. I would maybe like to see him work. Like, if we're going to say who for him to work with, I would like to see him maybe work with Chip or a Stormzy. We've seen him work with Tion Wayne, and that was fire. Him and Swarms, Tion Wayne, Swarms, and JJ did Houdini, which was a banger of a tune. I could see them doing quite well together, him and Chip, JJ and Chip. That would be banging. Maybe a Stormzy collab. That could be huge for the UK, and it could be huge for JJ when it comes to music, because Stormzy is pretty much in the US market as well, because the US fucking loves Stormzy as much as we do here in the UK, but definitely the Americans do love Stormzy's music. Let's see who else, and we're going to have a look at the American side as well. Who do we think that he could possibly work with? There are a plethora of artists that they do have in the US, but is there anyone that's a good fit for JJ at this moment in time to help him? Maybe a Camila Cabello could be on the hook. Let's see. Let's try and think of a rapper or a hip-hop artist. Machine Gun Kelly could possibly be a good fit. Let's see. Because they've got so many in the US, but you're just trying to think who would work for KSI. That we could possibly be expecting next year to be on KSI's next album. I mean, Camila Cabello could be perfect on a hook. You could possibly get Cardi B. Cardi B just seems like she's that kind of person and that kind of artist that she just seems, down to work with whoever she fucks with and whoever fucks and respects her. Because no one expected Bruno to work with her. I didn't expect Bruno to work with her. But when they did get together and they did the Finesse remix, I was like, fucking hell, this is a banger. Then they came back and worked together again on a proper song that wasn't a remix and did Please Me. Now that is a banger of a tune. It could be interesting to see Cardi work with JJ. Could be interesting to see what they could cook up. What they could cook up in the studio. I could possibly maybe see, imagine JJ with Stormzy and Ed Sheeran. With Ed on the hook, and you got JJ and Stormzy spitting verses. And also maybe Ed could come in on some with a verse as well, because we all know that Ed Sheeran's got bars. So there are so many artists that KSI could possibly collaborate with, and really levitate his music career, especially in the US. But that was a very, very solid track, very solid remix. A little bit better than the Tiny Temper Young Bane version, but that's because I felt like Sean Paul for me is just giving that a bit of it extra flavouring. He's giving it a little extra bit of flavouring. Rehab did bits with the beat, along with Digital Farm Animals and Craig David. His vocals in that was stunning. Especially when they're coming towards the end and he's riffing and he's running. That was stunning. Everybody doesn't realise still how flawless Craig David is as a singer. He's phenomenal. We call him a legend in the music industry here in the UK for a reason. And we call him an absolute ace when it comes to vocal control, because he's been in music that long. His vocal range and his vocal control is stunning. So yeah, that was banging. Looking forward to hearing what KSI has next. Hopefully next year sometime we can hear something new coming from him. That's not a fucking Really Love remix. JJ, seriously, mate. He's rinsing the fuck out of it. Like, to be fair, this is banging, but he's rinsing this out. But that's going to be it for me, folks. I'll catch you all next time. This has been your boy, GNS Mole. I'll see you all later. Take care, and peace.